This little known method of combining your VA disability income with a Social Security disability claim is making veterans right now upwards of $100,000 per year to their households. And a large percentage of that is actually tax-free income, which means effectively it's even greater than that. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly if and how you can combine and parlay your 100% disability rating or whatever VA disability rating that you have right now into Social Security disability income so that you can earn both at the same time. I'm Jordan Anderson, 100% rated Air Force veteran and founder of VA Claims Academy, where we help thousands of veterans get the VA rating they deserve. And many of our veterans, you can see some right here on the screen just from this past week, some of our victories. Of course, add that to the list of the thousands that we've helped get 100% permanent and total ratings. A lot of them move on to then get Social Security disability income as well. But I wanted to go ahead and give this video to you because a lot of us don't realize that how much easier, first of all, that you can actually get Social Security disability income at the same time as VA disability, and no, they do not interfere with each other. But two, how much easier it actually makes getting Social Security disability income when you have that strong foundation existing with a strong VA claim. So let's get into it. So first, let's go ahead and define what the differences are between VA disability income and SSDI, or Social Security disability income. VA disability income is specifically to pay you on your service-connected conditions, so injuries that maybe occurred during your military service, or even injuries, as we specialize in, that stem, from injuries that occurred during military service. Yes, those are also included, or should be at least, in your VA disability rating through the secondary condition path. Now, the difference between that and Social Security disability income is that Social Security disability could be, any injury that sort of prevents you from working, all right? This could be service-connected or not service-connected. Now, it's important that you note that while having a high VA rating, or really any VA rating, could actually help your Social Security disability income claim, they are not done via the same process. They're two different governmental agencies, and their criteria, let's say in the VA world, we're familiar with, 38 CFR, and you have to do your CNP exams, things like this. All that jargon is limited only to the VA claim sphere. So Jordan, how does this transfer to helping my VA or my Social Security claim then? Well, it helps in a couple of ways. Number one, the records that you have from your VA disability, for instance, the doctor's notes, the examinations, the treatment history, right? Maybe from your VA doctors even. All of that carries over and is legitimate medical evidence so that your Social Security disability income, they can actually look at those records or even call up your doctors, it doesn't happen very often, and discuss your treatment history, and that could help with your Social Security disability claim. The other thing is that you can actually get your Social Security claim fast-tracked and move to the front of the line. If you're 100% permanent and total rated, for example, that means that you get your Social Security disability income claim expedited. That's a huge bonus, but not only your initial claim. Let's say that you get denied Social Security disability and you need to go down the appeals route. That appeal as well also gets expedited. What does that mean for you? That means that you could get an additional roughly $4,000 per month upwards of with the Social Security disability, and you can get it quicker than others who are non-service connected or non-100% permanent in total. That's a huge bonus for you as the veteran. Hey, if you're getting value out of this video so far, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Now, here's something important to know. If you're disabled past the age of 31, so you're older than 31 and you have a disability that limits your ability to work, the Social Security Administration is going to want to see 20 work credits. That's roughly 5 years worth of work, okay, over the last 10 years prior to your disability, okay? So let me explain that again. Let's say you get disabled in 2010. from 2000 to 2010, so 10 years directly prior to your disability, they're going to want to see about 5 years of work time. So 20 work credits within that 10-year window prior to your disability to qualify for SSDI. The good news is as well is that there's a military service credit that you get. So military service counts. The time that you were working, that you were in the military service and you were paying into Social Security, that counts toward that recent work test. It also counts towards your overall duration of credits. Most working adults will need around 40 credits, just to put that on your radar. Now, when I talk about the criteria, things are different VA claim side than they are Social Security side. Now this may be to your benefit or it might be to your detriment. It just depends on your specific situation. However, interestingly enough, for those of you who are on the VA side labeled as TDIU, which stands for Total Disability Individual Unemployability, meaning that you're already bumped up in your VA rating to the 100% mark because of your lack of ability to work, this could be some key evidence because you can take these records and whatever that maybe you filed a personal statement or perhaps you wrote a letter to the VA explaining how your disabilities prohibit you from working. You could utilize these to go ahead and put towards your Social Security disability income claim because SSDI largely hinges on your disabilities causing you the inability to work. So to wrap up that segment, think of Social Security disability income as a club with points, right? So you're a member to this club and you need a certain number of points to maintain your membership over your lifetime, and you also need a certain number of points in a recent, time periods to stay current. So that covers the duration of work totally and also your recent work, which is that past 10 years prior to being disabled. And again, yes, military service does count. Now here soon I'm going to talk about how much you can actually earn, especially when combined with your VA disability income. But first, let's touch on for a second this. Having a high VA disability rating does not necessarily guarantee that you're going to win your SSDI claim, or at least maybe not on the first time, okay? Again, 2 separate agencies, 2 separate criteria. Secondly, here's something that is the same and that you're gonna wanna transfer and keep, the same habits, VA side and Social Security side, and that is the fact that this is also a bureaucratic process. You hear me say this all the time in my videos for you subscribers, which by the way, y'all ask amazing questions, and I see y'all in the comment section, very high speed, very proud of y'all. They are going to be looking for paperwork, okay? They are going to be looking for medical documentation, which is why you just went through that VA claim process. It may have taken you a year. You may have gathered a lot of medical documentation for yourself during this process. Why not package that up again and reuse that? Because Social Security disability income side absolutely is largely determining on the quality and quantity of your medical evidence, okay? So whatever nexus letters that you've gotten, maybe at the bottom of your nexus letter, it talks about how the doctor sees that you're unable to work at this, and here's why, and here's why. That means that that nexus letter can be used Social Security disability income side because it's a doctor weighing in on your inability to work, okay? It doesn't count for service connection because Social Security doesn't care about what's connected to your service in that specific instance, right? They want to know that your disabilities are keeping you from working. So it's very important that you keep the mind switch of, hey, there's going to be different things that apply. However, it's still the same game in terms of medical evidence being king. So how much can you actually earn? You've seen me throw around the number of 6 figures. Why is that? Well, because 100% permanent and total VA rating is right around the $4,000 per month mark. Depends on if you have a spouse, how many dependents you have, if you have any special monthly compensation. But safe to say right around the $4,000 per month mark is what that gets you. And that's just shy of $50,000 per year. Social Security disability income largely depends on how much you've paid into Social Security, again, your recent pay-ins and how much you were making. However, typically the average, if you were going to max out your Social Security disability income, would ironically be right around the $4,000 per month mark again. So again, just shy of that $50,000 mark. If you add these two together, you get around $96,000-ish. But remember, your VA disability income is completely tax-free. VA rating income is always tax-free. So the effective value of around $50,000 in your bank account tax-free, really, if that was taxed, typically that would be around $70,000, maybe $76,000, $75,000 of pre-tax income. If you were thinking of that as just holding a job and that you actually net, at the end of your bank account, that $50,000. So it's way more valuable than what you would think. So considering that, it's safe to say that this benefit, especially combined SSDI and VA disability income, if these two are maxed out, you're looking at well over a 6-figure per year value to you and your household. If this has given you some light bulbs, definitely hit that like button and share this with someone who needs it. Now, it's important to note as well, VA disability rating side, you can be a 100% permanent and total rated veteran, just like I am, and you could still work a job, okay? That does not prevent you from working a job unless you have that TDIU that we talked about earlier, saying that, hey, it's a total disability for individual unemployability. In that instance, yeah, you can't work. Social Security disability side, they have stipulations that state that you can't really earn. The VA side's fine. Your VA disability income doesn't count as income, but you can't really earn income in addition to that Social Security income. So working at that point isn't an option, and even some rental incomes I've seen. So for instance, if you're getting $2,000 per month for your rental property, but maybe your mortgage is still $2,000 per month, the Social Security Administration could sometimes look at that as, hey, doesn't matter, you're getting $2,000 per month income. And you're calling them on the phone like, well, I'm not making any cash really, that's my mortgage payment, but it doesn't really matter. So a lot of times the Social Security Administration could be real sticklers if you have additional income coming in. So make sure you get with a Social Security disability professional and ask them for your specific situation. Fellow vets, I really hope this helped you out. It's a topic that's really not talked about very often. Yeah, if you have a high VA disability rating and it's impeding your ability to work, there's a very strong likelihood that you will indeed qualify for SSDI, and the two of those together can really be life-altering for you and your household. I really hope you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.